Hi folks, and welcome to today's video, 7 mistakes to avoid when recovering from a herniated disc. Now, I do produce a lot of great content for those folks out there suffering with low back pain conditions such as sciatica, bulging discs, herniated discs, many other low back pain issues. If that's you, then hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified when I've got some great content for you folks to get you back on the road to recovery. So, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So folks, today I want to talk about 7 mistakes to avoid when recovering from a herniated disc. Now, I've picked a lot of these mistakes up from clients that I've worked with, existing clients, past clients, etc. And I just want to deliver, there's many mistakes people can make, but these are 7 of the top ones. Okay, so let's get right into it. When you want that herniated disc to recover, you want to be placing as least amount of stress as possible on the damaged area so that it can heal. The body tends to heal if you put it in the right position. The body can heal itself. But if we cut ourselves, we have a scab, we keep picking at the cut, we keep picking at the scab, we increase the time it will take the body to heal. And it's the same with a herniated disc. You want to put the body in a great position for it to heal. So you have to change many little things. As one of my clients just said recently, you change many little things, like micro changes, which will give you that larger macro effect, okay? So number 1 is sitting properly. Now, I do talk a lot about avoiding flexion before noon, try to stand as much as possible in the morning, and that'll pop up in another video at the end of this one if you want to go and check it out. It's quite an interesting bit of research in the literature there. But just to get into a little bit more in this video, so not sitting properly, we tend to slouch when we sit, okay? So if I just go sideways here for you guys, if I sit and I slouch forward, for about 80–90% of people with a herniated disc, that is going to increase the pain in the back. Maybe you're going to have sciatica, that'll be increased as well. Because when I flex my spine forward, most herniations are posterior. I'm going to push that herniation back out. It's going to irritate the nerve. So when I just sit down normally, we tend to slouch. Okay, that's just in the body's natural tendency. So what you can do, a couple of things you can do. You can get a rolled up towel, okay, put this into your lower back region, and it'll force your pelvis to kind of tilt forward and put you into more extension. So the vertebra is in a nice sort of symmetrical line with less stress on the disc. If you're using a computer chair, for example, you can sort of put your upper body weight on the back of the chair. That'll take this kind of half portion of your upper torso onto the chair. It'll place less stress on the herniated disc. I know we have to sit, but it's thinking about what you sit on and where you choose to sit. I myself, when I was in a really bad way, spent a lot of time on the floor because I had really bad sciatica, and I'd have to lie on the floor on my front, on my back, sometimes on my side. I couldn't sit on the couch for a very long time. So you have to be selective. Maybe you have to use a dining room chair. It's got a bit more support in it. It's much more erect. You'd want to avoid the couch, for example. Now, there is another video that's going to pop up at the end of this one, so there'll be 2 for you guys who can watch later, which is about how to set up your workstation. Okay, if you are a computer worker, for example, how to put it in the right position to get in a good position to avoid back pain. Okay, so that's number 1, is sitting incorrectly. Now, number 2 is going to be don't stop walking. All right. One of the greatest exercises, and it's free, that you can do for lower back recovery is walking, okay? Walking gets you out there, get your cardio fitness working, your core muscles engage, your legs engage, your upper body's moving. It is a good, low impact overall exercise. However, when pain first hits, many of us will just stop, okay? Now, I do understand for many people it is sore, okay, when you walk. But what I tell people to do is try to break down. If I give somebody a recommendation of, okay, when you do 15–20 minutes every day and you can only manage 5 minutes, that's fine, okay? Just break it up into 3 or 4 5-minute walks, okay? It's okay to have a little bit of pain as you're walking, but if it gets too intense, then I would expect you to stop, all right? So just break down that time, but make sure you keep moving, okay? You gotta keep moving, because one of the worst things we can do is if we stop moving, our muscles start to atrophy, we start to get weaker, other tissues start to get stressed, okay? We have more issues because we have stopped moving, all right? So number 2, don't stop walking, all right? Number 3, this is a big one for many clients I've spoke to. Stop looking on the internet, all right? Reddit groups, Facebook groups, Quora, okay? You will go there and you will see people who have had bad results, okay? They've not done well with their low back issues. And it's very similar to when you go to a restaurant, you have a bad meal, you tell everybody about it, okay? You have a good meal, you might tell a few folks, okay, in your near circle. People want to share their misery out in the World Wide Web these days, okay? People seek misery. People want to share and kind of embroil themselves in a shared pain, okay? I'm not saying they're bad people. I didn't say that, right? But what I'm saying is for you, looking for positive outcomes, it's not good to go on the internet because you're going to see tales of, woe and disaster and whatever, okay? There is a really good website. I did a podcast for them. They're called spinehealth.org. And it's an American-based institution, I guess you would call it, foundation. And they've got a load of successful low back pain, low back herniation, disc bulge recovery stories. They've got a podcast that I was on there. I did my own story on there. Numerous other ones from various athletes, men, women, a whole range of people on that particular site. So go and check it out. I'll put the link in the description down below, spinehealth.org, okay? Please try not to go down the rabbit hole of looking too much on the internet, all right? So that's number 3. Okay, number 4, drinking water. Now, this is quite a big one. I always recommend all my clients to do this as well, is increase your pure water intake. You see, the body itself, 80-90% water, depending on the tissue that you're looking at. The discs, about 90% water. And one of the issues with dehydration is when our discs become more dehydrated, they become more brittle, okay? And that is a bigger problem later on down the life with things like degenerative disc disease. So when I'm trying to stretch, or when somebody's trying to stretch their tissue, when they're trying to get mobile, loose, it is good to be well hydrated, okay? Because it'll help the tissues move easier. It will improve the disc health. They've done a few studies on smoking, for example, which will dehydrate disc tissue and make it more brittle for herniations and bulges, etc. So I recommend to all my clients to increase your water intake. Now, don't go crazy and start consuming, another 16 fluid ounces or 500 mils a day. Start slow, okay? Maybe 8 fluid ounces extra a day. That's about 250 mils in metric terms. And you do that for a week, and then maybe the next week you add another, okay? And maybe that could be enough for you, just that extra half liter or whatever per day. But do it over the course of a couple of weeks. I always recommend that you drink the majority of your water before 6-7 o'clock at night. This is to stop you having to get up for a pee in the middle of the night, okay? I don't want people complaining, saying, oh, you told me to drink more water and I'm spending half the night in the toilet, all right? So definitely do recommend increasing your water intake, but do it gradually, okay? So number 4, not drinking enough water. Now, number 5 is too much bed rest. Now, whenever you're sick, you've got a cold, flu, whatever, we are often just want to stay on the couch, want to stay on the bed, okay, getting fed tea and toast or whatever makes us feel better. That's perfectly okay, all right? When we've got a disc injury, back in the 1980s, this was quite the sort of common knowledge. Oh, bed rest, at least a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Things have changed, as science changes, research changes. And nowadays it's recommended no more than 2-3 days bed rest maximum because we want to get you moving. Because I mentioned earlier about not walking, when you stop moving, okay, it's the old saying, use it or lose it. When you stop moving, you are going to be in worse shape, all right? When you lie in the bed flat, you're going to get weaker quicker. Muscles will start to atrophy after a while. You're going to be in a worse position. You've got to keep moving, doing something. Keep reasonably active within your pain boundaries, all right? Too much bed rest is not the recommended thing anymore. So please do not stay any more than 2-3 days maximum. Okay, if you're just severely herniated, you're in hospital, that's unavoidable, right? But I guarantee when you're in hospital and you've had an operation, they'll get you out of bed as soon as possible. Again, they will get you moving, all right? So number 5, avoid too much bed rest. Now, another one which I come across quite often, this is number 6, is stop doing painful exercises. Now, quite often I've come across clients who've said to me, I went to physiotherapy and I was doing X, Y, and Z exercise, it hurt, but I still did it, okay? And my pain didn't go away, my pain didn't get better. And it's like, right, maybe you need to look at the exercises you were doing and you should have stopped doing those exercises. But sometimes, you think because you were given it to do that you should do it. And this is why the clients I work with, I always ask them, we have a weekly check-in. I say, right, was there any exercises that were an issue for you? Did it cause excessive pain? Did you stop? Which ones did you stop? Okay, so then we can look at it every week. We can adapt. We can change the exercise. Find one that works. Because, as I mentioned a few videos back, one of the things about physiotherapy and rehabilitation is you want to be making the person better. You want to be decreasing pain, okay, increasing ability to do more, right? So as the pain goes down, your quality of life goes up, right? That may sound like common sense, okay, but I've come across too many people who will keep pushing through pain. I know myself, I used to be bad for that as well. No pain, no gain. But when it comes to lower back rehabilitation, no pain, no gain is not the right motto to have, okay? You want to be very conservative in many ways. And if you do come across an exercise which causes you pain, make sure you tell your physiotherapist, your doctor, whoever it is you're working with, okay? And they should adapt and modify it for you. All right, so number 6 is avoiding painful exercises. Now, number 7, this is a big one, number 7. I've come across many folks as well who have gone down this rabbit hole, and that is obsessing over your MRI result, okay? Your resonance results, your x-rays, whatever. Now, I've talked about this in a blog, I've talked about it in various videos. They've done numerous studies, and they've groups of people. This group have back pain, okay? They do MRI testing, they do an MRI imaging on them, and they have no herniations or disc bulges, okay? With this group over here, no back pain, right? No issues at all, no sciatica. MRI results show, oh, they've got 2 or 3 herniated discs, the bulging discs, okay? The MRI result is simply a tool, and sometimes people, they get the result, they get a piece of paper, and it's got things like, oh, you've got mild stenosis here, you've got melodic changes at this end plate, you've got a 5 millimeter bulge here, you've got a 10 millimeter herniation there, etc., etc., etc. And they just focus right in on this, and it's like, oh my God, all my issues come from this. You don't know how long those issues have been there. Okay, the MRI can't tell you that. And as I just mentioned before, there's many studies where people have herniated discs, no pain. Some people have lots of pain, no herniated bulging discs, okay? What I try to focus on with people, and I try to encourage, is look, don't stop obsessing about that. Think about the recovery. Like, would you rather know what caused the pain, or would you rather get rid of the pain and get better, okay? Because knowing where you've been is one thing, but you want to get to where you want to be in the future. So again, it's similar to the internet, where people go on the internet and they're sharing their MRI results, and they're pasting up their images, and they're again wallowing in in this sort of like group pity, whatever. And again, I'm not saying they're bad people. It's just you can drawn into that rabbit hole, and it's very bad for you mentally. Okay, you start thinking, oh, there's no way through this. There's no way I can't get past this, etc. And when you're bombarded with all this kind of stuff, it's not good for your kind of your mental positivity when it comes to recovering from an injury. So please stop obsessing over your MRI results. Just think about your daily progress, your weekly progress, okay? Because you might find in 5, 10 years, okay, you're fully active again, you're back to doing whatever you want, you'll get an MRI for something else, and they show, that you've got your lower back, whatever. Maybe your herniation's gone away. Maybe the herniation is there a bit smaller, okay? It's still there, but it doesn't give you any issues anymore, okay? So it's not necessary to obsess too much about these MRI results, okay? So guys, listen, that's some of my top 7 things to avoid, okay? Getting too sort of head up about when you're recovering from a herniated disc, all right? Listen, if you've got any questions, comments, please hit me up in the comment section down below. If you've got any issues you want to discuss with me personally, my email's down there. I do help a lot of people out with their low back pain issues. More than welcome to help anybody that I can, so please hit me up with an email. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Have a great day.